Hello, man. Welcome back to the Business Exchange. We have a huge guest with us today, and she's gonna kick off our Black Women's History Month spotlight, man. Please, y'all, give it up for Robyn Atwater, the CEO and founder of Curldaze. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. I know you've had a busy week, but I just want to say thank you for coming out and sitting with us and taking some time to talk about your business on the Business Exchange.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's such an honor. I love rolling out.
Appreciate you. So we can dive right into it. I know before you started Curldaze, you was actually kind of a hair influencer, or not even kind of. You were
Yeah.
a very big hair influencer. How did you build that following? Was there a certain piece of content, or did you have like a strategy you knew that was just working?
It's funny because when I started, it wasn't called influencer, right? So it was like back in like 2015, 2014, before people were getting paid to post content, where people were chasing views. It was a time where we as girls and guys just wanted to share what we knew. Like we were on the internet, like, did you try this technique? This worked for me. It could work for you. So it was really a community that we just love sharing what we knew, right? And so it was really a day by day, week by week time where we just built a following. And it wasn't really a following, it was like a community. It was a natural hair community. We were all struggling and thugging it out as we go to learn our hair, in its natural state, which is something that we hadn't really been in touch with for a long time, right? So it wasn't an overnight thing. It was a day by day thing. And I think that's why those people are still with me today, because it wasn't an overnight success type of thing. It was, we're family.
We grinded this out.
Yeah, exactly. But I did create a method called the horseshoe method. And that was the first thing that really blew up for me. 2 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
And I created a new method on how to use flexi rods so that it cut your time in half, because we all love flexi rods during that time, but it took forever to do. So I cut it in half and it kind of went crazy. And they still post it on TikTok today. So it wasn't a one moment thing, but that was the moment that I kind of went viral on YouTube.
No, that's amazing. I'm about to say that's viral. No, but I guess what did you learn during your time as a hair influencer when it comes to, I would say, marketing?
Oh, wow. Marketing. I think the best thing for me in terms of marketing would be to be relatable, right? Like when you're in tune with your following and with your people, you know what they want to see, right? So you just give them what they want instead of just coming up with things just out of your head. You serve the needs of other people. And so that's what I've been doing. I just serve the needs. I know what people want. During my time as an influencer, I was able to work with almost every brand on the market. And so I was still being bombarded every day. Like, even though I would post, they were like, okay, but what did you use for this style? I know you said this for that style, but what did you use for this style, right? And so you know what people want just by engaging, paying attention, responding to your comments. You don't just post and run, like you're not too big for the people. Like you are the people. And so me responding to the comments, getting into dialogues, being in the DMs, like, girl, try this, like what the needs are. And so for me, marketing is really just about serving the needs of the people and using a tool like comedy or romance or everyday life to transfer that message to the everyday person.
Was I guess was there is there any, because we see the good side of being an influencer. We see all the fun, all the followers, all the comments, all the brand deals, and everything like that. What are some of the hard parts about being an influencer,
Wow.
especially in the beauty market?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me is time management, right? And so when I started, I was freshly married. I had no children. And, it was just the two of us in LA in our little apartment, nothing really to do. And I was able to just crank out content, day and night. I stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning teaching myself how to edit. I couldn't afford to like take editing classes or anything like that. So I taught myself how to edit, stayed up 3 in the morning editing. I would go to work. I had my 9 to 5, and then I would come home and film all through the night. And so I was able to, keep up with the content. But then when you have a family and you have kids and things start to change, it's really hard to balance both. And so for me, I think that was the hardest part about being a content creator, was just, managing your time and making sure that you're, just staying on point with your content and being consistent.
So Curldaze.
Yes.
When CEO and founder.
Yes.
Curldaze. When was the, I guess, light bulb moment for you to like, yo, I'm doing all these other brand stuff. Like,
Yeah.
let me do my own. When did that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah. It was so it wasn't one exact moment, right? So it was a few things that went down. So it kind of started when I went through a bout of hair loss. So my hair was coming out, it was a stressful time, and like I was waking up, there was hair on my pillow, there was hair on the back of my shirt. I'm like, something's happening. So I had my hair in a ponytail one day, and I'm like, Ryan, I was with my brother. I'm like, does my ponytail look thin to you? He's like, yeah, it does. I'm like, okay, we're got to stop. We have to recalibrate and we have to figure out what's going on, right? And so I came up with my own hair growth oil after doing hours and hours of extensive research on natural ways to grow your hair back. And I started using that oil daily, and my hair started to thrive. And I was like, wait a minute, I think I'm onto something, right? And I think I could do this. Like, I think I can make this and help other people, right? And so it was just that one product that I started with. And I kind of put it on the back burner, because I had a job. I had no real desire to start a company. And then I started doing the content creation part. And so I started working with everyone. I used almost every product you could think of, right? They were sending me everything. I get mailers daily. And what I realized was that, a lot of these things were made for us and not by us, right? And because of that, a lot of things did not work for our hair type. It just didn't. Like, it was too watery. It wasn't moisturizing. It would dry your hair out. It had bad ingredients. And I knew there were bad ingredients because I did all this research about what to avoid to make sure your hair could thrive, right? And so I just used all of that knowledge and I put it all together and I said, I have to create my own products that my people that support me can love, know, and trust because they love and they know and they trust me. And so I just compiled all the knowledge that I had by knowing what I do want, what I don't want, what to stay away from. And I just started churning and burning. I ordered ingredients off of eBay at the time. I ordered ingredients off of Amazon. I'm in the kitchen. He's looking in the kitchen cabinets. There's no food. There's almond oil and fenugreek. Yes, like I'm making my own gel. I'm watching YouTubes on how to make your own gel. So it was kind of just a day after day type of, what, I think I could do this. And then, you know, 5 years later, here we are with Curldaze.
So you started 2019.
We launched in 2020,
I'm sorry,
but it took me 5 years to get the perfect formulas for me.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I guess you don't gotta give away like the formula, but what sets Curldaze apart from the other brands? In your opinion?
In my opinion, what sets us apart? It's a few things that sets apart. The fact that our products actually work.
Shots.
No, not saying that everything doesn't work, but like I said, there's a lot of things on the market that just
it's not for our people.
They're not for us, and it looks like it's for us. The packaging looks cute and brown and looks like it's for us, but it's not for us, right? And so when you actually get a chance to get a hold of these products and apply them to your hair and realize they're effective, they're moisturizing, and they define, like, I get a wow moment from a lot of people. Like, I've gotten testimonials like, I was real skeptic, I wasn't sure, and I used it and I'm throwing out everything else, because it actually works. Your people are tired of like going through a bunch of different products by this point, and when you land on something that works for your hair, that your hair loves, and you can see it thriving, then you say, okay, I think this is different than what I'm used to. And I think that's one thing that sets us apart. And I think our marketing sets us apart. I look at things in a different light. I give people things. I don't really sell products, in my opinion. Like, I'm not a selly person. I'm not in sales, which a lot of products are driven by being a salesperson and getting in your face. And I don't think that that's the way to best serve my people, right? I want to show you, look, it works. Try it and come back. Yeah. Right. I don't sell dreams. I sell
reality.
And I use, comedy and relatability.
So did you like tap into your network for this? Because I know you had a big network of other influencers. Did you use some influencer marketing to get Curldaze out to the masses?
It's funny. When you first start a brand, you don't have any marketing dollars. Some people may. When I started, I did not, right? But by the grace of God, on my journey as an influencer, I still hate that word, by the way. Like,
You a CEO now, so that's your old
yeah,
life, you
that's
know?
true. That's true. By the grace of God, on my journey as an influencer, I met some incredible people, and I had a network of some bad girls. Okay, some OGs, and when my product launched, the second it launched, they started buying. Like I saw their names popping up, and I'm like, I literally walked outside and started crying. Because I didn't ask for anything. I don't expect anything from anyone. Like I said, I'm not here to sell you. I want to show you results. And so the way they showed up for me, they purchased with their own money, they posted on their own time and gave real feedback to their community. And I have chills just thinking about it. Like they rallied around me. And for that, I'm forever grateful. And my people that were there with me from the YouTube days, they bought first day, and we're continuing to thrive to this day because of my dope network of
Man,
influencer girlies.
man, shout out to those girlies, man. It's good to have
Shout
real
out.
friends.
Yes, yes.
So in 5 years though, you've taken Curldaze pretty far. You're
Yeah.
already on major retailers like Walmart and Amazon. What was that process like? How did that happen? Were you able to connect with them so fast?
It was my Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, I love that answer. That's my favorite answer in the world.
Yeah. When things like that happen to you so fast, it's not you. Right? So that's how I feel that I've gotten here. Um through my journey, like I said, I was able to meet a lot of incredible people and make great connections during that time. And so when it was time for me to launch, I knew I wanted retail. And so you kind of have to know where you want to go day one, sale one, you know? And so I just reached out to people that I met along the way, like, do you have any advice? This is where I want to go. I don't know anything but ecom right now. Um, what do you think I should do? And so it was those what do you think I should do moments that led to being in retail. And at 9 months, we had our first retail meeting. 9 months after launching, yeah, we met with CVS, and CVS took us on. So we're grateful for CVS. We love them as a partner. And Target was after that, and then Walmart came a year later. So it's been a whirlwind that's happened very fast, and this is bigger than me. So I'm thankful for that, and the angels that have been in my life.
That I loved how you said that's how you know God's working when it happens so quick you don't even
Yeah,
really believe it. You know what I mean?
right, right.
The natural hair movement has been a movement. It's had a lot of evolutions.
Yeah,
There's the Pinterest girlies that was popping back in the day, Instagram, TikTok, and everything now. Where do you see the industry going in the future? And how do you see Curl Days fitting into that future?
I feel like we have ebbs and flows in the natural hair community. Like we had the natural, my mom and dad rocked the fro, and then we went to perms, and then we came back to the natural in a different way with our curls and wash and goes. And then now we're kind of we still got our natural girlies, we have the wigs, we have the sew-ins. But what's good about that is the girlies are still keeping their naturals under the wigs and the sew-ins. And in some cases, when you're doing it right, it helps you maintain your hair and keep it very healthy. And so we're in that moment where we're preserving our natural curls, we're taking care of them, hopefully, and we are just expressing ourselves in different ways, right? And so I think the natural hair movement, who's to say where it goes next? We always reinvent it because we are those people. We are creative, we are beautiful, we are colorful, and we are so creative and come up with so many different iterations of things. So I don't know where it goes from here, but I know it's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be beautiful, an expression of who we are as people. And Curl Days is always gonna be there to support whatever we come up with next for healthy hair, vibrant hair, exciting hair, we'll be there.
It is Black Women's History Month.
Yes.
So who inspired you?
My mama.
My mama. I love it. I love it.
Deborah Bowen. She was my first inspiration. She's one of the hardest women hardest working woman that I know. She was the first Black cheerleader at Marshall University. Um, she was a school principal, an educator her whole career, and she birthed two incredible children. And she's strong.
Shout out to my man Ryan.
Yes, yes. She is a strong, strong, mighty woman that taught me the value of hard work. She taught me the value of never giving up and always told me that I have what it takes to do whatever I want. So she is my first inspiration, of course. And then in the hair care space, Madam CJ Walker, I think, is always the baseline of who we are all trying to be. Because what she did was revolutionary, right? And we love revolutionists, and we love to be innovative and creative. And so every one of those ladies that have come before me that have been on the shelves before I was there, they're my inspiration.
What has been the most rewarding moment of your journey as a Black woman CEO in the beauty industry?
This is I don't know how this is gonna sound, because I think when you ask that question, I think a lot of people expect a grand answer. But for me, the most rewarding part is someone said to me that I now love my curls because of you. That's it. That's my most rewarding moment.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I guess my next question would be, what are some challenges you faced as a Black woman in this field?
Yeah. My number one challenge when I began was funding. It was hard to get funding. We grew so rapidly that we had orders from retailers that were so big that we didn't know how to fund it without a bank, right? So we're like, we running into the bank. Look what we got, guaranteed money. Just run us the money, and we can make it happen. We're off to the races. And in a moment where I think someone that did not look like me may have gotten funded, I did not, and they told me no. I'm so sorry. And so I was distraught. But my God is bigger than your no.
Hey, that's real.
Okay. Right there. He's bigger than your no. And I looked at my husband. I said, "What are we gonna do?" And he said, "I got you. I got you." And so we prayed. We tapped into our savings, and we bootstrapped it. We were self-funded. No investors. We have no investors to this day. The business has been able to carry itself, and it's something that I never thought that would be a barrier to entry, because you think you have guaranteed money, and I just have to show you just have to help me, and everybody's excited, and everybody's promoting entrepreneurship and Black excellence, and that part doesn't exist for a lot of us. So that was one of the most challenging things that I faced as a Black female entrepreneur.
I'm gonna move the subject just a little bit because I love where you're going with this. So you seem like a very spiritual person.
Yeah.
I just started going back to church about 4 months ago. So I want to know what is your journey like? Well, how is your spiritual journey like? Have you always been like, you grew up in the church, or did you kind of disappear for a little bit, come back? What was your spiritual journey like, and your relationship with God?
Yeah, it's funny because I think I've always had a steady relationship with God since I've been young. I've been very in tune with Him and His voice. But I did grow up in the church. I went to the church as a young person, but then I kind of didn't go to church as much.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like my relationship with Him
was always strong.
Yeah, it was so strong that it was kind of okay, that I wasn't at church every day, because we did devotional at home. And my dad, when we didn't want to go, he would read the Bible. We would sing all the songs, go through the whole program, just like we were there. So I knew how to do home devotion. But it's one of those things where it's not one day for me. I talk to God constantly in everything that I do. I ask Him to order my steps. and bring the right people into my life.
I love it.
Um, and I thank him for bringing you into my life.
I thank him for me meeting Nick, Ryan, and
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's a great
So I
platform,
agree.
and I'm appreciative. And I think what's for you is for you, and he's always going to look out for you.
Absolutely. He's always gonna make sure everything's always correct.
Right.
Um, I guess give me 2 tips for establishing the perfect curls.
Oh, okay. My first tip would be that dry hair breaks. Okay. So brittle, dry hair will not lead to perfect curls. So do not neglect your hair, please, ladies and gentlemen. You have to make sure your hair is moisturized on a consistent basis. Our moisture cream is like the top moisturizer out there. Not because I made it, but for real, like it will seal in that moisture. I always tell somebody actually just asked me this the other day, like, how do I get my curls so juicy like yours? You have to lock in that moisture. When you wash your hair is nice and hydrated with that water, lock it in with the cream. And that way you get the juiciest, healthiest hair to start with. And then you go in with your stylers and you can define that curl. And don't be scared to use more product. You know, a lot of people try to be skimpy with the product, but our hair is different. Our hair, some of our hair needs more product than others, you know, like use the product, follow the instructions, and make sure that you are moisturizing your hair. Moisture is key. I cannot stress that enough. And anybody asks me anything, always start with moisturization. And then the second thing, I don't know if this is a tip more than life advice, right? So, like I said earlier, I think the movement of the wigs, the sew-ins, braids, I think it's all beautiful. Like I think it's exciting. I've never worn a wig. I did wear a wig for Halloween one time back in the day. In case anybody finds that picture, I did wear a wig. I did. I did. No, but I love it. I think being able to express yourself in that way is just a beautiful thing. I think it's beautiful. I think having the option to do what we want is exciting. Um, but one thing that I have noticed as a result of that is that people are saying that they don't feel beautiful with their natural hair. And that breaks my heart. It literally, like, I want to cry thinking about it because our hair is our crown that God gave us. Like, this is what He chose for you, right? And so to say that you don't feel beautiful in it is devastating. And so my tip would be learn to love your hair. Learn to love it. Like learn to love it. We can do everything else under the sun, right? Wear the wigs because I love them. I want to see them. But make sure that you fall in love with your hair. Pull up TikTok. Watch some girlies that have hair like yours. Look at the girls with the same hair type as you. What products are they using? What techniques are they using? Pick up the products. Use their techniques. Trial and error, you know? With anything, I think we all get better with practice and with time, right? And I think we don't love it because we don't know what to do. We haven't spent the time learning how to style our hair in a way that best fits our hair, you know? And so after you do the trial and error of using other people's products, learn what your hair loves, right? Your hair may love lightweight products, your hair may love thicker, juicier products, right? But I think once you get it down, like get your routine down, get your favorite products, you know, have your stash, and you fall in love with your hair, that's when it'll thrive. It'll thrive, and you'll learn that it's the most beautiful form that you could be in.
I ain't gonna lie, that was some real deal sauce for the girlies right there. So now I'm being greedy. I need to know. Give them a guy, give the guys something. Something for the beard, the hair. What's a tip guys are ignoring about their hair?
Oh man, the guys, I love the fellas. We have a large male customer base because our face of the brand is a man.
Wow.
Yeah, Neil, my cousin, shout out to Neil, OG. He does videos with the products. He loves the products. His hair loves the products. It transforms his hair, right? So the guys can use it the same way the girls do. The products are amazing, hydrating. But the beards are things that men kind of neglect sometimes. Y'all kind of be looking scraggly every now and then, right? We don't want that. We don't want that. So I have a shine spray that I have to steal from my husband whatever I need it because he steals it from me. He loves that shine spray. He goes out, the light hits it, and it just sparkles. Do you remember Star? You're probably too young for Star Search. But in Star Search, the light hits it and it just starts glistening and glowing. That's what the shine spray does to his beard. Wow. Loves it. And then my brother, he has a beard. He was struggling with it connecting. Don't mean to put your business out there, Ryan. But it wasn't connecting. And so he started to use the hair and scalp. He started to use the hair and scalp booster without me knowing. Because, he was like, these ingredients are crazy, like fenugreek, caffeine. Like, what? Like, I'm going to try this. So he calls me one day. He's like, Robyn, that hair and scalp booster connected my beard. Like, that stuff works. It works, right? I was like, exactly. So he sent me pictures of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. It was so cool. So don't neglect your beards, guys. If it's struggling, if it's scraggly, try the hair and scalp booster, grow those spots in, and then use the shine spray and have it glistening in the sun.
Thank you. I know which two products I'm about to cop, man. I already know. So I guess, man, I really enjoyed this conversation. My last question is, I just want to get some advice, to that young Black girl that was like you, that whether it's a hair product or a beauty product or whatever they're passionate about, right, could you give them some advice to help them establish a thriving business like you did?
Yeah. I think my one piece of advice, I don't know if it'll turn into two, but my one piece of advice would be to research what you're trying to do, right? Be knowledgeable of the space, However, do not research yourself into 10 years later that you never launch. Okay. A lot of us think we need to go to 5 empowerment brunches, go to 3 seminars, pick the brains of 5 mentors, buy 7 books, and we research our way into non-action. Right? So there's so many different ideas and creativity that never comes to life because we're overthinking it. Research and overthinking are 2 different things. Being prepared and not executing, 2 different things, right? So you have to make sure that you just go. Make it happen. Produce something. If it fails, it fails. It's okay. It's okay. Because guess what? Not many people knew it failed if it failed, right?
That's real. Who really knows?
Who knew? So pick up and start over. Change the packaging, put it back out, right? But put it out. Put it out. The hopes and the dreams are just thoughts until it's executed. So start it. And then the next thing is build yourself an incredible team. And a team might be one other person, okay? It doesn't have to be 12 people right now. It has to be one person that believes in you, through the good, through the bad. When you have 1 sale, when you have 100 sales, that person that's going to stick with you because they love it. They love you. They know they love the product. They love what you're doing, and they're here for the ride, right? Once you find that person, you can go through anything. You can thrive. You can struggle, but it'll be okay because you'll still be enjoying it because you're with somebody that loves it just as much as you, right? And then the third thing I want to tell people, because I hear this all the time, I don't want people to get discouraged when your family or your friends don't support you. Do not let them hold you back. Don't even bring it up. Don't make a post about it. Don't subtweet nobody that, oh, if family only supported, because guess what? If 100% of your family supported you and nobody else, you still don't have a thriving business, right? So there's millions of other people out there that want what you're selling. There's millions of other people out there that think you're a genius. Don't let people that don't believe in you, that can't see it for themselves, that have nothing positive to say, stop you. Don't let them stop you from your dream. God put that in your heart. He didn't put that vision in their heart. So you can't expect them to support your dreams. You can't expect it. So don't take it out on them, because that's just negative energy that you're pouring into your business. Don't even worry about them. They're non-factors. in the grand scheme of things, because they'll come around when you're successful, right? It's just like every other person
Everything
that
ain't gonna
doubted
come
you.
around. Yeah, once everybody else is rocking with it,
Now
they
you're
gonna
a
stop rocking.
genius,
Yep.
right? So don't let that bog you down. Okay, don't let it bog you down. Don't let it bring you down. Do not invite negativity in. I don't care if you woke up 3 days in a row and you have no orders. You might get 1,000 orders on that fourth day. Don't get discouraged. It's a hard thing to be an entrepreneur. It's not for the faint at heart. It's not for the weak. It's a hard, hard thing. But if he put it in your heart and he allowed you to execute it, to take it to the next level and the next level, he will continue to let you thrive and soar. He's not going to let you down.
Those were some gems right there.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much,
thank
Robyn,
you.
for coming on to the Business Exchange. It's the CEO and founder of Curldaze. You can find it in every local retailer. I'll let her tell it. Where can we find Curldaze? Where can we order and follow and keep up with you?
Yeah, well, you can always find it on our website, curldaze.com. You can find us on Amazon, easy prime shipping. We're on Walmart. We're in Walmart stores, Target, CVS, HEB for my Texas folks.
Yeah.
We're in Publix. We're in Kroger. We're in Black-owned beauty supply stores out in LA. We're in a lot of your beauty supply stores all across the country. If you don't see us in your beauty supply store, please request us because they know us. But if there's no demand, they won't put it in there. So they know you want it, they'll put it on the shelf for you. So that's where you can find us, and hopefully way more places to come.
Where can we follow you at and keep up with you and your content?
Oh, okay. So on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you can find me under Curldaze, and you can also follow the Curldaze hair care page on Instagram under Curldaze hair care.
Man, thank you so much for taking this time today, for sitting on the Business Exchange and just giving us gems, because I know I got some tips I'm gonna use.
Oh, good.
And I'm sure the girlies got a lot too. So I just want to say thank you one more time. We really appreciate you for being our debut feature for Black Women's History Month this April. So thank you, Miss Robyn, Mrs. Robyn, and we are rolling out.
Thank you.